So the story is when Senspost got acquired, I got tasked by our new owners to stand up this MDR operation. A very traditional kind of managed SIEM with a whole lot of little bits and pieces, like genuinely trying to make things work for our clients. And one of the problems that we had was threat intelligence. And by threat intelligence, I mean like the atomic threat intelligence, the data that you get from open source or from commercial vendors that tells you this IP, this domain, this email address, this file hash, whatever it is kind of associated with badness. It's got a history of badness. And the paradigm, like and the starting point for me was we were spending an enormous amount of time tracking down effectively alerts that were raised because we had seen something that had previously been noted as bad. Mm-hmm. And it was enormous, hours and hours and hours a week, kind of looking at these traffic from these quote unquote bad sources, and then just finding out that there was some other explanation that that it just wasn't bad in the end. And it started this debate about getting better threat intelligence. So what does that look like, and where do you get it, and how do you assess it? And we started shopping around looking for better threat intelligence. And the more I spoke to people, the more kind of I got this itch, the sense of like I couldn't quite understand, I couldn't quite buy what they were saying. And I wasn't coming from a place of someone who had a lot of previous experience or kind of knew the industry from that point of view. I was literally just listening to the guy's pitch and trying to understand what he was saying and trying to reconcile that incidentally with how much I would be paying him for it. Mm-hmm. And the more I listened, kind of the more intellectually frustrated I got with just not being able to understand what the value proposition really was. So instead of buying something, we conceived an experiment. And the experiment said, let's take our customer base and split them into like a control group and a test group. We'd use the one group to generate threat intelligence. So notionally what we said is, if we confirm that something bad has happened on this network, let's take those indicators, the IP addresses, hashes, whatever, and let's build them into a threat intelligence list. And then let's measure whether in fact we ever see that threat intelligence with the other group of customers. So, controlled experiment that tests mm-hmm. the fundamental value proposition of the threat intelligence industry. And we did that over about 6 months of data. We had about 1.5 billion indicators that we looked at. And then we could kind of slice and dice the data almost any way we wanted, and do various thought experiments. And when I started seeing the results, I was like, I couldn't believe them. And so I tried again and I tried again, and I looked at the data in different ways. And by the time I actually got to do the presentation at Black Hat, I was petrified. Like I really thought I'm stepping way out of line here. I can't believe my own findings. And the best I could come to was to say, look, here's what we did. Here's the data. Literally, we published all the data. And these are my conclusions, and kind of hit me. It was sort of mm-hmm. the place that I got to. And what the data said was that less than 4% of the verified bad indicators that we saw from the one group ever manifest in the other group. So, out of 100 of those alarms, I guess, that you chase down, 96 of them are going to just be wasting your time. And the other 4, if you haven't processed them within 2 days, you're basically wasting your time. They're gone. You're not going to see them again. Mm-hmm. And
so over the weekend, they're no good.
Yeah, over the weekend, they're no good. By the time you come in on Monday, too late. It's not doing anything for you.